Welcome back to Dinosaur Month, a month dedicated entirely to board games about dinosaurs. On this day, the second day of Dinosaur Month, we jump into the tiny little arms of the Microraptor that is Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. The Tiny Epic series of board games are a series published by Gambling Games and designer Scott Almes, which all have the notable intent of these small box experiences providing quite big board game times. And while their history is somewhat hit and miss, to say the least, there is one about dinosaurs in which you and your friends will take the role of dinosaur ranchers, running your own dinosaur farm, where you'll be using your ranches to wrangle some various free-range dinosaurs, hopefully breed them, and hopefully end up completing various contracts throughout the game to get victory points. And whoever has the most victory points is the best at ranching dinosaurs after 6 rounds. But be careful though, because if you can't house or feed your dinosaurs, disaster will strike. The last player to have been a German subsistence farmer goes first. We've all been there, right? We've all built a theme park at one point in our lives and used experimental science to stuff it full with dangerous carnivores of a bygone age, all in the name of delicious cash money profits. The theme? Dinosaurs. Well, fret not, because Tiny Epic Dinosaurs is actually about making a dinosaur farm. The theme? Dinosaurs. In what is actually a perfectly reasonable game, you'll be using your tiny little ranches here to hopefully go about building up your own tiny little dinosaur ranch to make loads of dinosaurs before shipping them off to, I hope, dinosaur amusement parks. They're big business. Otherwise, worst case scenario is dinosaur burgers. Oh no. At the start of your turn, you'll gain all the resources on your ranch that are uncovered. And we'll come back to that later, because next it's onto the meat and bones of this game, the worker placement phase. Your tiny ranches can be used for all sorts of actions, such as just gaining some resources, that's always good, or gaining barriers, which can always be useful, and they can just do all sorts of different bits and pieces. But also, you've got a tiny rancher who you might notice is a little less tiny than all your other tiny ranches, and that's because they're worth 2 ranches, and this is quite interesting. Don't you hate it when another player takes the space you really desperately needed, and all you can do now is just sit there with your head in your hands as you watch all of your plans crumble away like so much ash in front of your own eyes? Well, now you don't have to necessarily worry about that, because you could just put 2 workers down to take their action, or 3 workers, or maybe even 4 workers. Or, well, realistically, you should have stopped a long time ago, because it's not really that efficient anymore. This is fun, because if it means someone took one of the spaces you desperately need, you can still go there quite efficiently. Hooray, that's great. You still get to do the things, and your entire thing doesn't crumble into the dust. Or you can use it really aggressively. Someone needs us to go to a space before any other space. Bam! They basically can't go there without spending lots of workers. Ha 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 ha! Oh god, have you just started some horrible Cold War where everyone else is then going to take all the spaces that you also really obviously need and make it really expensive to go there? Oh, please stop. Oh god, what have I done? But what about the dinosaurs, I hear you ask? Well, it's time to get sciencey. I'm kidding. This isn't a game actually about DNA sliders and doing highly illegal and circumspect scientific research, all in the name of furthering capitalistic good by bringing in about horribly vicious creatures. Instead, to get dinosaurs, you just gotta go and find them in the wild. It is literally that easy. See? If you want a dinosaur, you have to go send one of your ranchers out to wrangle a dinosaur of your choice, in which you then wrangle the wrangle die, you roll the wrangle die, and depending on the outcome, you either wrangle the dinosaur, which is good, wrangle so well that you wrangle 2 dinosaurs, now that's a big wrangle, or you have such a wrangling mishap that the wrangle turns into this sort of epic duel between your rancher and a dinosaur, and they both go to the medbay to go get patched up. Although, weirdly, they seem to all go to the exact same medbay. I can't even look at you right now. But life isn't as simple as just wrangling no dinos. You are a dinosaur rancher. You need to make sure that these dinos can find home on the range. So here is your dinosaur ranch, and when it gets round to it, you will be looking at all of the dinosaurs in your holding area, as well as hopefully all the barricades that you've managed to collect, and you need to now organize them onto your ranch in a way that hopefully means that A, your dinosaurs are contained within a pen, and B, hopefully your dinosaurs are segregated by type, because dinosaurs hate one another. You'll have to really hope that you've managed to just kind of gain enough fences to hopefully pin all the dinosaurs that you've managed to acquire in place, and just hope nothing goes wrong at this stage, because the next stage is feeding your dinosaurs, in which you then feed all your dinosaurs according to how much they love to eat food, and use the resources you've hopefully acquired to feed all the dinosaurs. You know, hopefully nothing's gone wrong so far. And then it's time for your dinosaurs to f**k. If you have 2 of the exact same type of dinosaur in the same pen together, they will breed and spawn another dinosaur. Wow, look at that, the miracle of life. A free dinosaur. Isn't it magical? Isn't it great? No, this is borderline terrible. Sure, you don't need to feed this reptilian risk. However, you do still need to find a spot for your new dinosaur menace. And oh god, you're rapidly beginning to run out of space. Why did I put so many dinosaurs together? I'm spawning how many new dinosaurs? Please, just stop mating. Please, stop mating. Okay, great. You've managed to avoid all disasters within your ranch. Your dinosaurs are fed, they have a place to stay. They've all managed to breed and spawn more dinosaurs. Please, stop. It's time to advance that round marker. And now you gain all the resources on the exposed spaces in your ranch. Oh no, your burgeoning dinosaur bonanza has royally stuffed the production of all your resources. So come next feeding turn, well, you're not going to have any resources to feed all your dinosaurs. And this is the core thrum of Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. You know, you start out making this lovely little dinosaur farm, like, ho, just putting little dinosaurs down, making little pens. Oh, isn't this cute? It's like a tiny little dinosaur agricola or caverna. How adorable. And then, before you know it, despair. Because, well, you've got to try and get enough dinosaurs for all these contracts, and your dinosaurs just won't stop breeding and making new dinosaurs, and you're trying to juggle so many resources to hopefully just amass the right amount of dinosaurs to do so many things, and genuinely trying to wrangle that many dinosaurs into one place in a way that's not going to destroy you. Oh, it's stressful. Oh, it's kind of great. It's a wonderful little puzzle, right? But hold on a second. What's this inside my pocket? Wait. What's this inside of my pocket? That's right, it's private contracts, which are essentially secret contracts for each player, and if that player manages to complete one of the public contracts, if they can, and they have that number of dinosaurs extra available, then you can also complete a private contract for juicy results using extra dinosaurs. A total of 7 dinosaurs to pull this off, which is a lot of dinosaurs. How are you meant to feed that many dinosaurs? How are you meant to house that many dinosaurs? What happens if the dinosaurs in your private contract do not match up well with those in the public contract? Well, it's going to be really difficult because suddenly you need to get so many different types of dinosaurs, and how do you stop your stegosauruses from mating all the time? My God, please stop mating. Tiny Epic Dinosaurs is just a fun and nifty little game because it's just got this nice enough and simple enough puzzle, right? Because you're just trying to amass a horde of dinosaurs to hopefully sell them off at the market, all hoping that things don't invariably go wrong. And they will, so you're all just trying to get this like ludicrous mixture of dinosaurs to all somehow play nicely, knowing that any moment you're gonna run out of resources and everything's gonna turn into disaster. And the game is filled with so many nice little nifty design tricks to really help it along and turn it into this quaint puzzle. When you wrangle a dinosaur, they go directly into your little holding bay, and you can't fulfill contracts with dinosaurs in holding, meaning for every dinosaur you want to use for a contract, you have to have managed to basically feed and house it at least once, which, you know, plays a big part. Blocking spaces is really important in worker placement games, but if your wrangle goes sour and you end up in the med bay, well, that space is now freed up, meaning someone else now has the chance to wrangle a dinosaur. Or you have the chance to wrangle more of the same dinosaur, which can be quite useful actually. Or I don't know, wrangling 2 dinosaurs. Now that seems really good, right? Efficient, nice use of time and workers. That is until you realize that you still need to find a space for them and feed them, and you really might not actually have the resources, and also there's a good chance that they're going to breed because they're the same dinosaur, and oh no, those dinosaurs are getting wildly out of hand. One dinosaur getting loose doesn't seem that bad, right? Sure, a fence breaks maybe, or one gets eaten. If anything, that's the better one. But obviously, you know, that single fence being broken can have a catastrophic knock-on effects to everything, your entire park, ranch, and well, now every dinosaur in your park has been killed or escaped just because of one mild snafu. Oh God! Do you have far too many dinosaurs? Well, fret not, because you can mush your dinosaurs down into a fine, delicious DNA paste to do some research, which can gain you all sorts of bits and pieces, such as unique abilities and upgrades that can be quite useful, but also unique dinosaurs. Woohoo! Can you feed them? Not at all. Do you have space for them? Almost certainly not. That's why you started mushing up some of your dinosaurs, right? But come on, it's tiny little T-Rex. How was I not meant to build the T-Rex? Come on now. Oh God. Some issues with Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. The most major of which is realistically turns 1 and 6 and even like 5, you know, every turn more or less identical, because not much really changes throughout the game, and there's not much progression beyond, well, later on you might be building fewer fences because you've now built enough fences. And it's fine, because after 6 turns the game just ends. That's it. And realistically it's kind of fine, because the main puzzle is just gathering the dinosaurs to complete the public contracts, and making sure you're just trying to manage resources to do that. But you're still just using the same dinosaurs. Like, it's not so much of you're going from small carnivores to large carnivores, because straight out the bat, you might need large carnivores. So, you know, you started with large carnivores. You're doing the same actions and the same sort of rotation, just the dinosaurs are slightly different. And that is fine, because there will be a point where you've miscalculated somewhere and everything has begun to go wrong. And that is what the game is about. But also, there are slight engine building mechanics within primarily the research deck. Some of the research cards have those sorts of engine building effects, such as, you know, gain some sort of resource when a certain specific action is done, so you're going to do that action to gain those resources to make things more efficient. Easy, sounds good. But these cards come up randomly out of this deck, which is not a small deck. And some of the actions within this are so situational that, well, you know, borderline useless unless you get them at the right, perfect moment. Which just means that, again, you're not building to anything. You are just doing the same 6 turns, essentially, of this dinosaur ranch wild ride of fulfilling contracts, etc. That it just means the research stuff feels tacked on at times. Ultimately, it makes the game a lot less heavy, or at the very least, a lot less involved, right? Because it's fine, because it's a small box game that presents a nice little puzzle that is fun to work out, so it's fine to just crack out every now and then. But it just lacks that last bit to just really get its talons sunk and hooked deep into your flesh, you know? Plus, move blocking is important, right? Like, it's a worker placement game. However, if you and another player are going for essentially the exact same contract, but they are first in the turn order, they will definitely probably take that contract, and that's theirs now, and you have to hope that next time, or like next turn, when the contracts are then refreshed, oh god, you better hope it has raptors, because you've just spent a lot of time preparing raptors. Oh no, that's not enough raptors, and I've amassed so many velociraptors and they're all worthless to me now. I've wasted so much time. And that is really quite annoying for a game that's so much about space management, to have all the things you've been trying to manage your space about just disappear. Because it's gone now and you're a turn behind and it's worthless now. The production on this is genuinely quite nice. All the teeny tiny little wooden dinosaurs are just so adorable and cute to just like move them around and play with them, you know? They're just adorable. And all these larger cards, they're double-sided in a way that makes variable player count setups just really easy and simple, and it's quite pleasant. And one thing that genuinely pleases me a weird amount, right, is you've got your turn, order card here, and we finished the game, what do we do now? Well, simple, you just flip that card over, and here is the scoring card. I just think that's quite nifty, you know? And sure, the rulebook has all the failings that every other Tiny Epic game has, in that it's just simply not good enough. It'll possibly teach you the game, and there are a number of like player aids across the, like little hints and whatnot across the board. But if you have a small kind of query about like, well, what dinosaurs can I use for DNA? Do they have to be in my ranch or do they have to be from here? The rulebook will not tell you, and good luck trying to find any rules queries because it's just a bit of a mess. But at the same time, this is just kind of cool, you know? I think I might be a really boring person. And that is Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. It is a nifty, small game from Gambling Games that I honestly didn't expect to like as much as I honestly have. It is like a small, simple game that's, you know, got enough going on that it's still involved enough that you're happily churning away at this little puzzle, rotating dinosaurs around, trying to spin your dinosaur-shaped plates. attempting to fulfill contracts in a way where hopefully nothing goes wrong. Unfortunately, you think things will go wrong, and it's just quite fun because of it. It's not an outstanding game, but for a small box farm game, it's quite good and quite fun. Sure, some of the elements seem tacked on, like the research, for example. And also, well, some of the art feels a little too mobile gamey for my liking, if that makes sense. But otherwise, the components are really super cute and really fun, and I enjoy the little tiny wooden pieces. And it's just quite a fun little puzzle that's surprisingly good. I'm surprised as to how much I enjoyed Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. However, I have also recently just looked online and at the price of the game, and somehow this one is more expensive than Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. And one of these two was genuinely an outstanding surprise hit of the year, and the other one is just kind of nifty. And I'll let you work out which is which.